All right. Hey, everyone. How is it going? If you could, if you can let us know the audio is good. For Julio and Laddie, you know, I've done this a few times where I get going and the audio is not good. And so I always like to just double check. You never know when I didn't do a setting right.
Yeah.
You know, let's see here. Let's wait for some comments to come through. All right, we're good to go. So perfect. Well, hey, everyone, welcome back to another #LockBoss giveaway. So towards the end of this live here, we're going to be announcing this week's 5 winners. But this is the deal. As you can see, I have a special guest on here right now. And Keyline USA, and I'll introduce you to them in just a moment, but they are for the support of CLK as well as the #LockBoss community, giving away a B106 key machine. Guys, that's crazy. I mean, this is almost a couple $1,000 key machine here. So truly amazing, super excited for all of you to be a part of this. I'm already pumped up for the winners tonight. And at the same time, I'm also very excited to have both Laddie and Julio. So guys, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, BJ.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. You know, and I know it's later over there. You know, it's only 4 o'clock here, but where you guys are at, it's much later. So thank you so much. I know it's dinner time, kind of a little past dinner time around there. So you guys being here and being with us is really amazing, and I really appreciate it.
Thanks.
So let's kind of just have a little basic introductions here. Now, Laddie, you were on the podcast. Now, for all of you who are watching this, if you haven't already, if you go to Spotify, iTunes, your favorite podcast place you like to listen to, you can listen to Laddie and Alex, and we kind of dive into the history of Keyline. We also talk about some different machines and the key cutter life. Laddie, I'm still digging all that key cutter, that carbide key cutter life stuff. So thank you for that. So if you haven't already listened to that, you want to make sure you listen to it. Lots of good information. Keyline has been in the key business for a long time. So Laddie, thank you for coming on. If you could just give us a base introduction, if you could, about yourself here.
Yeah, how's that?
There we go. Yep, we're good.
My name is Laddie Urbis. I'm the key accounts manager for Keyline USA, and I've been around a long time. I'll give you a real short synopsis of my history, or if you want to wait for me to go a little deeper, I can do that. Basically, I started out at Curtis Industries after being a tool and die maker, and being at Curtis Industries, it was then sold and became Barnes Distribution, and Class C Solutions, and then eventually MSC. And I left that company in 2014, and I came to Keyline USA in 2015. That primarily my whole career, other than starting off the first couple of years in the tool and die department at Curtis Industries, where we made the number 15 code cutter. And from there, I went into engineering, quality control, so forth, and stayed with the key cutting business my whole career. And fortunately, I've never worked a day in my life since I got into this key cutting business. I have so much fun, and the industry is so interesting. People are interesting, and everybody has a key, everybody. So you always have a conversation, no matter where you go. People are always asking you about, can you cut my key? So we've all experienced that. And it's a very enjoyable business. I really have a lot of fun with it. And along the way, as we progressed along, we developed some key machines, and I'll go into those a little bit later as we just talk about your questions. And I don't want to take up too much time in the beginning, and I'll let Julio give you a little bit of the history of the company, which is, I think, quite interesting.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Laddie. And Julio, before we get going, I see that you have Topo Chico there.
Wasn't easy to find one, but I stopped by Target eventually. So
awesome. Well, you know what? Thank you. Cheers to you, and cheers to all the lock bosses out there who are drinking Topo Chico with us. So very awesome. So Julio, if you just kind of fill us in, I think everyone can tell if they can see your name on there that you are part of the Bianchi family.
That's correct. Yes. Well, it's a family tradition, working with keys. Like I'm the 8th generation, but so it dates back to 1770. So it wasn't until the 6th generation that, in which basically like an industrial entity was born in 1960s. That was my grandfather, and then passed on to my father, and then me and my siblings. Alex that joined last week, is one of them, but there's 2 more that work in a family business. They're located in Italy. So okay. And yes, and Keyline is focusing on manufacturing of keys and key duplicating machines. You might in the US especially, you might know Keyline more for the key machines than the keys, but we do both. We have a manufacturing facility in Northern Italy, and then a distribution company for North America in Cleveland, Ohio. So I've been myself working in family business for 12 years, but I spent 10 years, it's going to be 10 years this year, working out of Cleveland. So yes, I have a much longer working experience in this country than in my own, home country. So, and I've been knowing Laddie indirectly, as a customer first, and then as a coworker for almost 20 years. I would think it's like 17, 18 years already. So before I started working. And my experience in the US, basically I came over with a suitcase to stay for a few days. Then, things changed, and I had the opportunity to work Keyline USA, and then I never went back. So
wow,
it's been an interesting, experience for me. And we've been through a lot of changes, over the years. We traveled basically our sales and footprint in the past 10 years, and then we're looking forward to continue down to this path.
Awesome. So now, before we really start diving in on some stuff, I just want to say, everyone who is watching right now, definitely ask your questions in the comment section, and any questions you have about key machines, cloning, or Keyline family history, any of that stuff, go ahead and put that in the notes section, and I can definitely
also, if I don't speak clearly enough, feel free to let me know, and I'll try to.
Yeah, I think your the English is absolutely great here. Let's see here. Let me move to speaker view. There we go. So, oops. Move that right, there we go. So when it comes to, let's talk about key cloning. Okay, so when it comes to key cloning, Keyline has kind of been at the forefront of a lot of that technology, coming out with it, and then coming out with the 884 Mini. How difficult is it on your guys' end to keep coming up? The key technology we keep seeing changing. How difficult is it for you guys to keep up to date with it?
It's a challenge, right? So basically, we have been actively operating to reverse engineering of OEM keys for the past, I would say, 16, 17 years. And basically, like cloning has been our first focus when we came the first like years of Keyline USA, which probably we opened 18 years ago. So I would say that we started in 2005, 2006, with those products. And then we have an R&D department in Italy that has a lot of experience in cloning subject, but also we have great like partners in the US that clone a lot, and then indirectly we have information from them. We test through like different like channels. So I mean, I would say that right now cloning is not as widely used as it was like a few years ago for obvious reasons, because of the increasing complexion of keys encryption, is limiting somehow like the cloning of the newest keys. But at a hardware store level, and then which like basically the average age of vehicles goes from 8 to 11 years, it's still, like very popular. So I think it's cloning is a very quick and efficient way of getting the job done. It might not be the most cost effective, but we like to think that time could be considered as a cost. So basically, in case like something needs to get done quick and move on to the next job, cloning, if it's an option, it's always something to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So back to your question, it's challenging, but we leverage our contacts and testers to keep up with the newer technology.
Okay.
And sometimes like correcting information that we realized wasn't correct in the first place, because there's so many variables. Even, same make, model, and year, with two different transponders sometimes. So it's the key is like receiving feedback from the market to correct our R&D.
Sure. Now, I mean, as the sorry, my computer screen here changed. As the technology has changed with like remote head keys and stuff that we have today, I mean, what are the odds of being able to get like a clonable, let's say like Fobic or something like that? Is that something like that feasible down the road, or do you think it'll just continue to stick to more of like a working key?
Yes, it's tough to give you an answer. I don't know what the real technological limit of cloning is, but we're going to get to a point in which it's not going to be possible to clone keys beyond a certain level of encryption. So that's something that it's something that we know. We, of course, like there's always opportunities in there. There's always like loopholes in higher encryption that sometimes like basically we realize that some OEMs program something wrong, and therefore we might be able to clone certain vehicles. So there's always, it's hard to say right now, but we know that of course, like 5 years from now probably we would be living in a different world, and therefore we are working to, in the meantime, we are just like working to get to a point in which losing part of our sales in cloning is not going to be as much of a problem, because we will have developed something alternative in the meantime. So we try to keep up with providing our market a solution that I don't know how to explain this, that might serve their purpose.
Okay.
Talking about
Okay.
keys and all
Yeah.
that.
So I mean, so you're essentially saying that as the encryption keeps getting greater,
Yes.
it really starts to kind of limit the ability to clone.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And I guess that definitely makes sense. So we have a couple, we
We're
have some
working on something.
questions.
We're just about to release, like certain we're gonna be increasing the clonability of certain vehicles. I'm talking about Toyota and Honda specific. So
Okay.
in the working, so you will in the next coming months we will inform you with yeah the list of vehicles that are going to be covered.
Okay.
So
very cool. So we have VSP036 is saying, Keyline is a vital part of my Lockboss business. The Gymkhana has changed my life. So that's cool. That's good. And we have, let's see here, question says, do you sell decoders for the Abloy key machine you sell?
Adapters or
like a decoder to decode the key?
Not that I know.
Okay. Okay.
We can check on that and make sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we make sure that we might, if like you can, PJ can, we're gonna listen to this and then make sure that if you can put us in touch eventually with the customer, we can provide like response from R&D.
Okay. So next question is from Access Locks. They ask, what Keyline products are well suited for a mobile shop?
I would say it depends on what kind of mobile shop the customer has. Like I think we are well equipped with solutions for automotive keys with the Gymkhana, or other products. I know you covered that in the last episode.
Yeah.
I mean, most of our products are thought and designed to be mobile because like the majority of our customers is mobile. And with some exceptions, but I would say most of our the bulk of the users of our key machines are mobile. Maybe let's use like 80-20 ratio. So to answer to your guest, it's probably there's different approaches. There's people that like to have like electronic key machines and a backup semi-automatic, or I think the new trend is to go straight with the electronics. So the Gymkhana has like helped a lot of businesses to branch out or add a second unit, for example, and it's going well.
Okay, sure. Now, if we were just like to just boil it down on key machines. So if we're talking about the Gymkhana, we're talking about the Laser 994 and the Ninja Laser.
Yes.
Of those three, I mean, is there one that you would say is more mobile friendly than the others, or would you kind of say that they're all equally mobile friendly?
I would say that most of them are. Go ahead, Lottie.
The one question that, and I think from our podcast, PJ, I talked about that as far as Keyline itself and specifically myself, as we're talking, I'm sitting here and thinking, instead of just trying to get the questions from those individuals along the way, I'd like to ask a couple of the listeners, because that makes us be able to adjust and modify things if there's a vast need for improvement on something. I like to think we make good machines, and anytime I go anywhere to a show or training or demonstrations, I always like to ask the people, what don't you like about my machines? What is it, is there something that we should be changing and improving? Let us know, and if it's a valid point, we'll certainly do it because we've done it in the past. We talked to original equipment automobile manufacturers. We talked to locksmiths. We talked to used car dealers who use our machines, to rental car companies. Anybody that touches our machines, I like to know if there's something that they think we're missing or that we should have on the machine to make it better. And if it makes sense, we'll make every effort to get it on there. I guarantee you, because that's one reason, going back to your question about what's the best machine, a lot of these people, do they do just automotive, or do they do automotive and residential and commercial, or do they just primarily do commercial? Because I think that would have some bearing on it, because certainly the Gymkhana is a good all-around machine, but I think some of the other machines might be even more suited for something specific. I would say the 994 laser is really an automotive machine primarily. So that would be that's a great machine. We just talked about that also on the podcast, that the 994, or if some of you people may even have BD laser machines out there, it's the same machine, it's a sister machine.
Mhm.
That particular machine, there's mounting straps to mount it right in the vehicles. It's designed to be used. We just spoke to somebody that does a key cutting service for the automotive dealerships. And they told me, we just called about a machine that they have. They have a series of our machines. They have, one of the machines is the 994 laser. They've cut 62,000 keys on it in 2 years.
Wow,
So,
that's a lot.
as I was saying, the word seems to be around it. They call it the beast because that's a lot of keys in just 2 years. So
Yeah, that is.
Going back to the original question that the person had, if it's primarily an automotive, I would think in today's market, probably the Gymkhana would be a great machine to add. Primarily, if you're really looking for a stable one and not worried about the brand newest keys that are coming out, because some of them have changed head designs, which puts limitations on the 994. But other than that, it's an awesome machine. You may have one machine set up for a particular style key that you cut. You might have another manual machine because you do a lot of duplication as opposed to cutting by code in a van. That could be, and I'd like to know that. Is there more key cutting by duplication in the van than by code? I think that would be very helpful for us. So to answer your question again, the 106 is an awesome duplicating machine for residential commercial keys. That's just terrific. So somebody's going to walk away here tonight with a winner, no matter what happens.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we have some questions as you were talking that have come in. One was, let me find it here. VSP is really loving the M clamp, which I think is absolutely amazing, honestly, especially for someone who primarily does automotive, but every once in a while they need to cut some quick set or Schlage keys. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, if you think back in the videos I did, I call it the Gymkhana secret weapon, right? Because I believe that's truly what it is. So great job to Keyline for coming up with that, and not, that's a great demand. So someone wants to know, where did I see that comment here? It just moved on me. VSP036 asks, will the Keyline 994, the original, ever do residential keys? Do you guys have any plans ever to make kind of like a M clamp, so to speak, for the 994 laser?
I would say
that is not.
I'm really thinking about it because I don't really think it's well suited unless you're going to set it up and use it just as residential type keys. But that entails a lot of different steps, different size cutters, and I think there is some limitation on that. Not to say that we couldn't do it, but we felt that machine truly was designed originally as a high security key cutting machine. And then along the way, we discovered that we could also with a little bit of ingenuity, we could make it edge cut keys for automotive. And so we said, hey, that's pretty cool. Now, can we do single side? We don't really have it set up for doing single sided keys. And so I don't know that we would look at pursuing that, but I would say it's an option that we would not totally ignore.
Yeah, I was always told though that we had complications in cutting single side keys. I'm talking about, primarily automotive, but I suspect, like residential too, because of the way it was designed. It was
Okay.
done for high security, mainly outside track for Honda in the beginning, then adapted for inside track, and then adapted for double-sided edge. So, or TB, for example, as well. So.
Okay. So, I mean, from what I'm hearing is that Keyline has experimented with it, but for a variety of reasons, have chosen to not proceed with like a different jaw for it.
Right. We certainly have other machines that are better suited for doing the residential keys. And in many cases, people that do residential may be doing multiple copies or something like that. And sometimes it's a lot faster on an edge cut grinding machine than it is on the 994 laser. And the grinding wheel will hold up far longer than the small diameter cutters on the 994. So you have to think about the application and what really makes sense. Sure, we could put another one on a grinding head on, which we have like a Total. That does both. That's an awesome machine, by the way. That one does some crazy good things.
Absolutely. Well, and I'm a huge proponent. If you're going to be cutting, really, in my opinion, a lot of edge style keys, having a machine like the Ninja Laser, even though it's a lot more money, that has the two separate wheels for those edge style keys. I mean, it's faster. I mean, I believe it's all around better if you can go that route. I mean, do you agree with that, Laddie?
Yeah, sure. I think even for a little bit more money, if you do the Ninja Total, that machine is really terrific. It has the capability of taking let's say a residential key. You put it in the clamp and you decode it or you trace it, and it will actually read the depths. It's not going to give you a code or anything. It's going to read the copy of that design. Take that key out and put the same style key that you're going to copy, put that in, same location, same tip stop, and that machine will grind it right in right away. You don't have to even go look anything up. It's pretty incredible how that one works.
Yes, that's really awesome. That's some good technology.
Action to believe it. It's really pretty neat.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Another question. When is the vacuum for the Gymkhana 994 coming out?
We were as anxious as you are to get it out, but unfortunately we were going to launch it last year and COVID came out and put everything on hold, and like everything else, everything got backed up. So as a priority, was not high on the list. I know they're looking at it again and starting up on it. We've got most of the development done. It's just actually having the people the ability to have time to get in there and make the production portion of it. But I would think it would be, if all goes well, I would think possibly this year, certainly next year, but I would think maybe this year. Julio is smiling, so he can probably speak better on it than I.
No, I'm smiling because my
dog
was bothering me. He was crying or something.
Nice. Okay, yeah. So next question from Vernon. He says, need machines that work okay being in very hot weather and very cold weather. How, from your guys' perspective on the manufacturing and making the machines, how do you feel about the Gymkhana or the B106 in extreme weather conditions in a van?
Well, we have the, like I said, the one facility, certainly the 994, in a facility down in Mexico where they're cutting keys. and it's hot and humid, and they have a bank of these machines running all the time, and they hold up very well. I don't see any problem with the heat. As far as the super cold, I would think, and probably because I don't live in super cold, I'm in Ohio, but we don't get those bitter cold. I would ask people that live up in the North countries that how does it perform? We have them in Canada. They're all over the place. I would think, and I know I spoke to one locksmith years ago, and he used to take all his consoles out and bring them in the house, because what happens is when they're so bitter cold and you go out to turn it on, that can be a shock to any electrical system. So you really want to make sure that you take a little bit of care on anybody's machines, not just ours, but just common sense will tell you don't jump in, and if it's got frost on the machine, turn it on. Things can go wrong from that. So, they're never absolved from moisture or humidity, but we certainly do what we can to protect them. But we haven't, to my knowledge, have any come back because of failure due to the weather conditions.
Okay.
Screens break because they drop carburetors on them, but never from ice and snow.
Yeah.
We have a 994 that survived the fire,
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, tell them that one.
Yeah. Well, basically there's a customer that has a fire accident, in his shop, and the only thing that survived fire was the 994, and I think it was still working after the fire.
Wow.
So he reached out to us. That was probably 5-6 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Been a fun story to tell.
Okay, that's impressive. Another question coming in here. I think I might have just skipped one on accident. I'll try to find it here in a second. It says, how powerful of an inverter do you need to power a Gymkhana 994 and a key machine like the Keyline or the B106?
The inverter?
Yes, yeah. How big of an inverter is needed to power those?
And that escapes me. That's a technical question for John in tech support. I hesitate to say. I don't want to mislead people.
Can I save this question for later? I'm gonna ask in the meantime.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty certain, to answer the question, I believe a 3,000 watt inverter will definitely handle both of them.
I was going to say a 2,500, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah. I'm like 99.9 on if you do a 3,000 watt, it's always better. A lot of times, people want to go as low as power as possible, but when you get up to about a 3,000, you really won't have to worry about it. Let's see here. It said another question. Where VSP036 says the Gymkhana cuts a TR47 key to precise specs like no other. Can't do that with another machine. A Blitz, he was saying there. So,
thank you.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. I had another question here, and as the comments go, it keeps kind of going up and down, and I'm kind of missed it here. Let's see. It looks like I can't find it here, but you know what? We're already 34 minutes in here. All right, so let's kind of switch gears a little bit. Before we get to the giveaway, though, I would really like to kind of talk about the B106. So this is the machine we're going to be Keyline USA is giving away to a lucky member of the Lock Boss community today. So I'd like you to if you can talk about it a little bit. I mean, I've seen the machine. I've got keys on the machine. It's a bigger machine. It's built to last. 4-way jaws. What else can you tell us about it?
Well, it weighs 55 pounds, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It's robust. It really is. It has a light working light on it. 4-way jaws, your typical 4-way jaw positions, has a rapid feed across handle, automatic to release it, and the pressure brings the keys up to the cutter, introduces it, and then you can just take your speed lever and move it right across with it. Very nice machine. Has also a deburring brush on it as well. Very simple to use. To change the 4 ways, there's a loosen the knob. There's a lever under at the bottom of the jaw. You push down and it makes it easily to rotate. I know a lot of them you have to loosen it up a lot and grab it, pick it all up and rotate it. Makes it a little challenging. This one's a lot easier. You just loosen it, push the lever, it raises the whole jaw up and you can spin it. Really nice machine.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a really great machine. It's to be a great giveaway. I tell you what, this is what we do know. You two are going to make someone very, very happy here in a few minutes. So I'm really excited about it. One last question. We've had a few more questions coming, but I think one in particular I want to hit real quick. The question is the Gymkhana, he says, the Gymkhana doesn't cover many motorcycle models. He says, can you work on software to expand the models?
That's a laddie question. Yep. Smiling, huh?
Yeah.
That's a great question. Ask them if they have a number 15 code cutter that they used to cut motorcycle keys with.
Yeah.
It's funny because when we did the program with Honda to bring out this the capabilities on the Gymkhana and the 994 to be able to cut the automotive key for the new vehicles that are coming out, that are out right now. It's the Honda Civic and the Acura MDX. And so those two are the only 2 vehicles this year that have this new style key. And in doing so, we had a real nice relationship developed with Honda. And after we introduced this program to the dealers themselves, which Honda, and I'll go into just a little bit because I think the listeners might enjoy hearing that. But to answer the main question about motorcycles, because we were dealing with Honda, Honda came back with us and said, hey, can you make the Gymkhana available to be able to cut motorcycle keys? And I said, well, we really hadn't pursued the motorcycle market in years. We did years ago when I was at Curtis, and then we kind of got away from that program. And so with Honda looking at and asking, I've been working diligently on developing the database for being able to grow the motorcycle market. I used to go visit the OEMs. And so one of my thoughts this year is to go back to Suzuki, Kawasaki, Yamaha, and everybody else, and see if we can, if there's interest for them to put it on the machine as well. But I know we are working for sure to get the Honda on there. Don't tell anybody.
Okay, yeah. Perfect. Well, okay, so I guess in summary, it is something Keyline's aware of, and it looks like you're going to be looking at adding Honda and possibly others in the future.
That's the nice thing with working with the OEMs, is that we do get direct information from them. We do get the code information, and it is accurate. We get the drawings, and we even get sample locks to test all our machines with, and it'll be the same with the motorcycle market. So we will. They would like to get it launched very quickly, but I am amazed how many motorcycle models there are. Just with Honda, it's absolutely mind-boggling. Going back and building this database of information, but we're working on it. It'll be coming. Yes.
Awesome. Now, Julio, I have one last question. We're going to move into the giveaway. Now, Julio, this one's for you, and it's a serious question, okay?
Okay.
This is serious. The people want to know. Thomas asks, will an Italian-made key machine make me popular with the ladies?
Yes.
Yes.
You buy 2 of them and you're twice as popular.
Really? Okay, so the verdict's in. If you buy a Italian-made key machine to be more popular with the ladies, buy 2, you double your odds.
It's a conversation topic for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I have this story about the 106 that I was told. I wasn't around at the time, but when we first launched it in the US, basically we had one product named the same in every single country we're selling and painted in the same way in every single country. So the name was Carrot at the time, and it was orange. And I started mocking it and calling the carrot, right? So that caused made us change our name, to 106 to follow like the pattern of our other products. Basically, there's ascending numbers on the key machine that we've been working on. And then we painted it red, which became later on the Keyline color. So yeah, that's not something I was told.
Okay, that's good. I mean, it's too bad you guys didn't keep the carrot around though, right?
Well,
how fun would that been?
It's we can bring it back. It's still sold as carrot, in other countries. So, we can bring a label.
Yes. Yeah. How do you spell that?
CARAT.
Okay. Very cool.
For example, but yeah, I didn't pick the name. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? That's awesome. Orange, name the carrot. Oh my gosh. That's, think about how much fun you could have marketing wise with that. Right.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff. But
when we did the Gymkhana, when it was picked, if anybody ever does spell check, they'll probably think it is spelled wrong. And we intentionally left the AH out of the name, so we wouldn't infringe on anybody that had anything with the original Gymkhana name. So Gymkhana primarily was taken because of the high security key patterns, and cutting the keys on the outside reminds us of a racetrack. And Mr. Bianchi is very fond of racing, and thought it was a good idea. So that's where the Gymkhana name came from.
Interesting. Very interesting. Thanks for sharing that. I tell you what, in the comments, they're loving the whole carrot thing right now. A lot of the comments are pretty funny, but very good stuff. So, all right. Well, Julio and Laddie, thank you so much for hanging on live with us here, letting us feed you some questions, and hopefully you guys are having a great time. So let's go ahead and let's move into our Lock Boss giveaway. And before I do, though, I just want to go over all of the rules, make sure we're all on the same page. So here we go. Every week, we post videos on YouTube. When you comment on the videos and you include the hashtag LockBoss, you are automatically entered in to win one of 5 prizes each and every week, okay? And it's free to enter, no purchase necessary. Now, each week is a standalone contest, okay? It runs from Monday through Sunday, and then the following Tuesday, like right now, we announce the winners of the previous week. We choose 5 every week. So if I call your name, if you're one of the names chosen, called, I should say, you're going to want to either email us at sales@clksupplies.com or call us at 800-848-6989. We're going to make sure we have your shipping address correct. We're going to hook you up. So that's how the rules work. That's how we do it. And the cool part is I'm going to call the 5 names right now, okay? And then I'm going to put it into this trusty Lock Boss hat. And I'm going to put all 5 names in, and I'm going to draw out the winner of the Keyline B106 key machine. Now, please, if you are the one who wins this, okay, you have got to, after you get it unboxed, you get it set up on your workstation, you have got to send us a pic, okay? That way we can tag Keyline in it. I mean, we want to see this machine in action, right? So that's what we'll do here. We're going to set this aside. Good luck to everybody. I'm super pumped for this. I really am. So let me go ahead. I have the 5 winners right here. So we get a little drum roll here. We'll get the first winner, which is Faraday Maxwell. Hopefully I said that right. Faraday Maxwell. Congratulations. I'm going to get my hat right here. Get this set here. Is what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a double bend on this. Put it in. Here we go. Winner number 2 is Nicole Stratton. Congratulations, Nicole. Very cool. Go ahead and take that. Put a couple creases in it there. Go ahead and put that in there. Winner number 3 is Kenneth Johnson. Kenneth Johnson, congratulations. Very cool. So we'll get that put in here as well. Winner number 4 is Lee Toller. Lee, congratulations. Very cool. Let me go ahead and get get this put in the hat as well. And the last winner for this week's hashtag Lock Boss giveaway. Oh, hey, I see Nicole's on here. Nicole, congratulations. Very cool. Here we go. Winner number 5 is Frank McCauley. I think I said that right, Frank. Forgive me if I didn't there. There it is. So we'll get this put in the hat as well. Now, Laddie and Julia, I just want to say, people in here saying thank you very much for coming on and being a part of this. They really appreciate it. So thank you, guys. So
Thank you. If they ever want to go to our website, they can see our videos on how to use the machine.
awesome. Very cool. Okay, so here we go. So we got all 5 names in here. This is the big one right here. Who this week is winning the Keyline B106 key machine? Here we go. Oh man. Oops. We had 2 fall out. Let me put it back in there. So I can't say it. Here we go. Congrats to all of you. Let's see. And the winner is, here we go, Kenneth Johnson. Congratulations. Very cool. Awesome. Well, hey, you know what? What a great time. Keyline, honestly, thank you guys so much for giving this B106 key machine away to Kenneth here. Very awesome. Everybody, thank you for tuning in and being a part of the hashtag LockBoss giveaway. Very much appreciated. Lots of fun. This is the deal. We have a new podcast dropping tomorrow talking about customer reviews. I even read some reviews and some random 1-star reviews and talk about it. It's kind of fun. And this tomorrow and then Friday, we have another great video coming out. It's a different one than we've ever done before. So we want to stay connected, watch it, and it'll be a lot of fun. So everybody, thank you. Have a great, great evening. And we will see you all next time. Julio, Laddie, thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
All right.